In the top stories, going green and water solutions to feature prominently in the 2017 budget. Prime Minister Harris engages with constituents during a walkthrough in Molyneux, and first-class caregivers trained in Tibet Nursery Care Program now certified. We'll be back with the details after this break. Welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I am Jasmine Thomas. The government of national unity is moving progressively with finding solutions to the high cost of energy that is contingent on the use of costly fossil fuels that are environmentally detrimental, while at the same time finding remedies to the adverse effects of climate change that has resulted in lower levels of rainfall, resulting in critical shortages of water supply affecting several communities. Financial Secretary Mrs. Hilary Hazel, commenting on the 2017 budget estimates discussions on October 14, said that the government is looking at energy efficiency.
We are looking at an exciting project in the energy sector. And that is, we are partnering with the Caribbean Development Bank to look at an energy efficiency program for public lighting. We have this intention to be a green economy. And so these are some of the critical steps, small but critical, that we have to invest in and make sure that the public comes along in terms of their thinking, because they're things that individual homeowners can do.
Additionally, the Financial Secretary said that there will be a project to look at the augmentation of the water supply.
We have the project that we would be looking at exploring the augmentation of water supply via the construction or the drilling of new wells. And added to that, the Ministry of Infrastructure has also put on the cards on the table in a very formal way the possibility for funding to be provided for a desalinization plant. That would help tremendously in sustaining the provision of water in the event that we continue to experience drought conditions.
This year, several communities have had to undergo the rationing of water because of drought conditions. New pipes were laid in Mansion Village to bring relief to the Phillipses and Lodge communities, providing about 150,000 gallons of water. Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, in his capacity as representative for constituency number 7, embarked on a walk-through initiative in Molyneux on Saturday, meeting and speaking to constituents on a personal level. Prime Minister Harris deemed the initiative a success, referring to it as refreshing.
It was, again, a refreshing experience to reconnect in this intimate way in the homes of the constituents and to hear from them about the many issues of which they were concerned for themselves, for their communities and for the country.
Dr. Harris further pledged his continued support for not only the people of Constituency 7, but the people of the Federation.
I want to thank them for always giving wise counsel, and to pledge that as the parliamentary representative for the good people of 7, I will continue to be available and continue to work hard to deliver not just for the people of number 7, who I love dearly and who are extremely special, but for the entire country of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Prime Minister Harris said the intentions is to visit other communities on a similar basis. The constituency number 7 representative also hosted a meet and greet with constituents on Sunday at the Edgar T. Morris Primary School. 25 caregivers representing public and private nursery workers from across the Federation were recognized for completing their training in a Basic Needs Trust Fund BNTF-sponsored program facilitated by the Early Childhood Development Unit ECDU entitled Training of Caregivers TOC. Their 9-week training commenced on the 9th of August. The participants completed 3 modules from the National Council on Technical and Vocational Education and Training Early Childhood Program. The objectives of the training were to increase the capacity of trained personnel in the birth to 3 cohort, to equip practitioners with skills and competencies needed to perform at maximum level, to improve the quality of childcare service within the birth to 3 cohort, to enable center practitioners who provide this service for children within the cohort, to meet required standards of the operation, and to create a stimulating environment that will enable children to gain the fundamental skills and concepts needed for life. As it is, the vision of the Early Childhood Development Unit to ensure that all children are provided with the opportunity to develop their fullest potential, training of the practitioners is one of the main requirements that is necessary to meet that goal. Coming up, we'll have another look at some of the short stories from the past week. Stay tuned.
Hey, what you doing? The time passing. Next thing you know, it's a Christmas Eve and there's hustle and bustle and fretting. Every year can't be the same thing. At Courts, everything waiting. The best deals, the best prices. Christmas this year, give you niceness. Come to Courts, you're invited. Let's go! Down to Courts, you know we've got the best in show. To be satisfied, come on, let's go! Down to Courts, that's where it's going down. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, along with other members and staff of the OECS Commission, joined remotely via video conference to celebrate the launch of the new OECS website on Tuesday. As he communicated via simultaneous 2-way video and audio transmissions, Prime Minister, in his capacity as chairman of the OECS, explained how the launch of the new website contributes to the Caribbean society.
The launch of the new OECS website marks an important step in the OECS Commission's continuing efforts to foster a knowledge-based society where the citizens and residents of the OECS region can be empowered by the currency of information. It is a site for the general public and anyone, young or old, professionals, students or retirees who want to learn more about the important work being undertaken in their name by the OECS Commission.
Prime Minister Harris also noted that the new website can be used as a tool that challenges the traditional form of communication.
The website is also a reflection of the increasing pursuit of the OECS to the increasing use of technology and innovation to overcome the traditional bottlenecks in how we reach out to those across the globe and ultimately those who can help influence and shape a better tomorrow.
Director General of the OECS, Dr. Didacus Jules, during his brief remarks, referred to the launch of the new website as the new communication tool for a historical era. The website was officially launched at the end of the meeting, which was held at the OECS Commission Conference Room in Castries, St. Lucia. The newly launched website is www.oecs.org. The government of St. Kitts and Nevis, along with the Nevis Island Administration, gathered on Tuesday for the launch of the Federal Youth Policy Initiative during a press conference held at the Ocean Terrace in Conference Room. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, the Honorable Sean Richards, opened the discussion by noting what the launch of the youth policy can provide to the Federation.
We have heard the request of our young people for more attention, more involvement, more opportunity, and more action. Today, We are responding to these calls, and we are bringing to everyone's attention and creating an awareness of our federal youth policy initiative, which will seek to achieve the finalization of the existing draft National Youth Policy.
Prime Minister of Youth on Nevis, the Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams, explained the importance of launching the Federal Youth Policy Initiative.
The importance of the youth policy necessitates that meticulous and efficient steps are taken to the creation of the document. This means that youth policies should be sound, and I say very sound, documents. A sound youth policy is evidence-based. A sound youth policy is inclusive. A sound youth policy is youth-driven. A sound youth policy reflects the needs, the dreams, and aspirations of our youth.
During her presentation, Commonwealth Youth Consultant Miss Dwinette Eversley congratulated the government of St. Kitts and Nevis on the launch.
I congratulate the government on its dedication and its commitment to achieving this policy and the strategic action agenda. Because when we say it consolidates all initiatives, we begin immediately to understand that we are establishing a blueprint for cross-sectional cooperation, for more accountability in the management of scarce human and financial resources, so that what we do everywhere for young people can be measured and we can see the success outcomes.
Ministry officials, media representatives and guests present were then given the opportunity to address the panel with ideas and concerns. The conference was chaired by the Special Advisor to the Ministry of Youth, Mr. Vernon Connor. As the Dental Health Week of activities continued, the St. Kitts and Nevis Dental Unit, along with the Rotary Club of Liamiga, hosted a dental health quiz at the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank ECCB Auditorium on Wednesday. Here's more.
A number of doctors from across the island, teachers, students and parents were seen in attendance at the primary school dental quiz competition for grade 4 students. While addressing the audience, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Mr. William Vincent Hodge, commended the St. Kitts Nevis Dental Unit for hosting the quiz.
The Ministry of Education is pleased that the Dental Association is doing this, or our dentists are doing this. And we want to thank you for bringing this type of activity to our students, our schools.
Also speaking at the event, the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Hazel Laws, said that the aim of the Ministry of Health is to improve the general health of the people of the Federation. The ministry therefore endorsed the event.
At the ministry, we explore all opportunities in so doing, and health education is one of the tools that we use. We like to empower our people, young and old, with relevant information that will help them make healthy choices as they go through the different stages of the life cycle.
A total of 15 primary schools participated in the dental health quiz competition. The reigning Flow Miss Caribbean Culture Queen 2016, Kyla Brown, was the competition's guest moderator. Students from the Morris Hillier Memorial Junior School placed second, while the Tucker Clark Primary School emerged as the Dental Health Quiz champions. The theme for Dental Health Week 2016 is Gums plus Care equals Smile. Everyone smiles in the same language. Reporting for ZIZ News, I am Shaira Flanders.
After the break, frustration in Haiti grows amid slow UN aid delivery, and the Thai Prime Minister says Crown Prince to assume throne after King's funeral. Stay tuned.
Can you afford to lose everything? In times of uncertainty, ensure you have the security of Quartz Payment Protection. When you shop with Quartz Ready Finance Gold or Ultimate Plan, if you lose your job after 6 months of making payments, our redundancy coverage ensures that the payment on your account continues for up to 12 months. Don't risk losing everything. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance and get the payment protection plan that protects you against redundancy, disability, death, and loss of item due to natural disaster, fire, flood, or theft. Quartz Ready Finance with payment protection. Quartz, bringing value home.
UN peacekeepers had to use tear gas on Haitians looting trucks carrying food and aid to victims of Hurricane Matthew. It happened shortly before a visit by UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. Al Jazeera's Victoria Gatenby reports.
This is a hard-hit area in the city of Lekki. Around 100 people desperate for food have just looted a UN aid truck. UN soldiers fired tear gas at those they think are responsible, but children are also affected. Residents are angry.
The people were there for the food when they began fighting, and the UN soldiers thought they should be tear gassed. Everybody got gassed. We don't need the food. They can take it. We don't need it. God will show us how to survive.
Outgoing UN Chief Ban Ki-moon condemned looting of UN aid trucks on Friday in the city of Jérémie. The incident in Lekki happened shortly before he arrived there to see the plight of Haiti's hurricane survivors. These people living in a shelter are among the 1.4 million in need of aid. Ban, whose term as Secretary General finishes at the end of the year, is promising more help.
We are going to mobilize as much as resources and medical support to, first of all, prevent and stop this cholera epidemic. And then, second, support the families of the victims.
Hurricane Matthew tore through Haiti 2 weeks ago. Food is in short supply and cholera is a threat.
Plus de 500 personnes ont perdu leur vie.
More than 500 people died, more than 300 schools damaged. Thousands of Haitians live in provisional shelters, without water, without food, without healthcare. Various communities are still inaccessible.
Damage to power, communication and transport links have complicated international efforts to get help to those in need. Ban is promising to work quickly to provide more aid. With shortages of drinking water and medical supplies in devastated areas, the help can't come fast enough. Victoria Gatenby, Al Jazeera.
In Thailand, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has given reassurances of a smooth royal succession following the death of the king. He said the funeral of the late king will not take place for at least a year and that the coronation of the crown prince will not take place until after the funeral service.
This is the new normal here in Bangkok. Public and private buildings alike draped with black and white awnings and large portraits of the late king hung outside as a tribute. But according to the law of succession, these portraits should have been taken down the day the king died. The reason they haven't been is because the crown prince asked they be left in place until his father is cremated in a year's time. Also, rather strangely, the crown prince, who's the heir apparent, has chosen at this stage not to take the crown himself. Instead, the crown prince says he wants to grieve for his father and that no coronation will take place until after the funeral ceremony. That could leave a regent as the head of state for as long as a year. The royal family are leading the official mourning for the king. On Saturday, Princess Sirindhorn paid her respects with a prayer ceremony at the Grand Palace, as her brother had done the day before. And on Saturday night, just before midnight, the Thai Prime Minister addressed the nation to confirm a temporary regent, but also reassure Thailand this was merely a delay in the succession.
One of the Crown Prince's important remarks was that he asked people not be confused or concerned about government affairs, including the royal succession, because the Constitution, the royal law, and the tradition have clearly specified it already.
At this stage, one must take at face value the statements coming from the palace and the government and assume that when the time is right, the Crown Prince will ascend to the throne. To do otherwise would be to fall foul of Thailand's lèse-majesté laws, which prohibit any offence to the regent or the Crown Prince. But it does seem a slightly strange time to leave the throne empty, particularly when so many Thais are feeling the loss of a king they loved so dearly and looking to the future with a certain degree of uncertainty. Tony Cheng, CCTV, Bangkok.
We'll be back with a recap of tonight's top stories. Stay tuned. In the top stories, going green and water solutions to feature prominently in the 2017 budget. Prime Minister Harris engages with constituents during a walkthrough in Molineux, and first caregivers trained in TVET Nursery Care Program now certified. That's it for the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. Thank you for watching. I am Jasmine Thomas. Good night.